Welcome to the sports show. Quiet Sid. The off-the-camera conversation comes to an end. Mike, Max, Patrick, Royce, Lou, Nanny, and Sid Hartman, the one and only. How are you tonight?
Okay.
Okay, explain the Vikings today.
Well, I think this coaching staff, they got a chance to be 500 now. Miami's no bargain, and it certainly will beat the Bears up here. Bears are terrible, and they can go 500 with this team, with the offensive line they've got.
With the offense that they've got.
With the offense period they got, with no running attack. Defensively, they've done a fantastic job. A lot better than anybody thought they'd do when they didn't have Peterson, and then they lose 3 starters on the offensive line. They've done a coach of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got to say, Patrick, they only gave up 1 offensive touchdown, and that was off a turnover. Defensively,
defensively they've been terrific. And, you know, Lions, I think, had under 300 yards total. So, you know, Stafford didn't light them up at all. Rhodes did a good job chasing Calvin Johnson around until he got hurt a little bit at the end. So, yeah, the defense has been fine. The offense is, they don't score any points. So.
And they may get a field goal blocked right in, you know, chip shot range. And
yeah, but, you know.
Then they mismanaged the clock at the end, because all they needed was a field goal.
I don't want to call it a 2-minute drill because it was a 1-minute drill.
Yeah.
It was just a train wreck. I blame Zimmer, though. Why do you spike the ball? Run up there and run a play on 3rd and 1. You spend 8 seconds spiking the ball. What do you run up and run a play and get the first down?
I don't know if that's his call or if they've got a system.
No, he was on the sideline going like this.
Okay.
But it was surprising that Detroit threw 1 ball to Calvin Johnson in the first half, 4 yards. We complain when they throw 1 ball to Patterson in a half.
Not anymore, we don't.
No, but we did for a long time. I don't care if Rhodes is covering him or if Lynch came out of retirement, what it was. Calvin Johnson's the best receiver in the league. You think they got to throw to him more.
Tell me the dynamics now when the season comes to an end. If you're Mike Zimmer, now you got 1 year as head coach under your belt. You assess this team. What authority does he have? How much leverage does he have? And if you're him and you go to the general manager, what do you ask for?
Well, if you talk to Rick Spielman, and Sid had him at Dunkers this week, and Spielman will tell you he and Zimmer work a lot hand in hand. And essentially, Zimmer goes to Spielman and tells him what he needs, and Spielman and his staff go looking for it. And so I think he'll give him whatever he needs.
They have a great relationship. They did not have a good relationship with the other coach, previous coach.
Spielman and Frazier were not close,
No,
and at the end, Spielman and Childress were not close, thus the reason they were both fired.
That's right. But they got a great relationship. Peterson's going to be here, don't worry. So that'll help them a great deal. They got a lot of hurt players. Fusco's hurt.
Lodeholt is hurt. Charlie Johnson's hurt.
I mean, it's amazing they've done as well as they've done. Offensively, they don't have anything. The offensive line is terrible. But today, they had 21 first downs to 11 by Detroit. Bridgewater, he's still got a long way to go. He beat him today with 2 interceptions. That's why they lost the game.
Although I got to say something, watching Johnny Manziel today, you see this is no walk in the park for a rookie, Patrick. And if you think you're just going to run around and find somebody open, it doesn't work that way.
He had no idea what he was doing. That was a train wreck.
Yeah, I was glad to see that Bridgewater's got this many games under his belt after you watch Manziel and realize how long he's got to go.
Oh man, it was brutal. But
it's got a long ways to go.
I don't think Bridgewater played well today. He did throw 2 interceptions, but he played very well. He did a good job out there. If this was Ponder having that game, you'd have said he was terrific.
That's true.
Sacked 4 times, and part of the sacks is his fault because he holds on to the ball forever.
But if Ponder would have had the same numbers, you would have been celebrating the performance.
I don't think Ponder would know. I think he's better than Ponder.
You do know.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But I do think that he's got a long way to go yet before he is a top quarterback.
So you think it was right for them to play him instead of Ponder now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. When did you come to that conclusion?
Because they like him better. So they They figure he's got a better future than Ponder. And Ponder's going to be a free agent then this year, too. That's another reason they didn't play him.
Can we get, however, over this thing about how composed he is? Just because he looks calm, the last possession where they had a chance to move and kick a field goal, he was a train wreck. Yeah. So let's not, once again, tell me how composed he is because he looks calm. He is like everybody else. When you're an inexperienced player and there's a lot of pressure on you, you might screw up. And at the end, he was not composed, even if he looked composed.
Most guys learn composure, Louis?
Yeah, it comes with experience. You're going to be much more comfortable in situations than you are at the beginning. But one thing I want to say is the broadcasters, I think, don't do their homework sometimes. Because when they were saying he couldn't throw it 50 yards, that it was too far from the throw, they didn't watch some of the other games. And if you're broadcasting and you're going to make statements like that, you should go to the quarterback before the game and find out what he thinks his range is, or even watch him throw and see how far.
Yeah, they've always got
because
the video
I've seen him throw over 50 yards.
I wouldn't want to argue with this old sage like you, but Zimmer must have agreed with him, else he wouldn't have tried a 68-yard field goal.
Well, no, I'd rather try a field goal than you got Kelvin Johnson and a bunch of other guys down
68 yards?
Well, he kicked it 68 yards in warm-up.
Yeah.
If you watched, so.
Yeah. Hey, what are they going to do about Cordero Patterson? They had a heart-to-heart. Nothing ever gets settled.
He is not as good as Charles Johnson.
Right,
Charles
but that's
Johnson,
not good. That's not good that your number one first-round pick isn't as good as the guy you signed off on.
Charles Johnson is typical of a lot of players. He never got an opportunity to play before. He was hurt at Cleveland last year. Nerve Turner, the minute he was available, he wanted to grab him. He says, this kid's really something. And he is an outstanding wide receiver. He's probably their best wide receiver right now.
All right. Well, Adrian Peters never played for the Vikings again. Sid thinks so. We'll talk about it when we come back. Stay with us on the Sports Show.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship. And the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots. Being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
You're watching CW-23.
It's the time of year for making lists and checking them twice. This year, we've been at the top of more award lists than any other car company. During the Chevy year-end event, we hope to be put on yours.
Now, during the Chevy year-end event, get the best offer of the year on this 2015 Chevy Equinox LT. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your child has been hit by a drunk driver.
Don't drink and drive, because in real life, there is no rewind. Extra DWI enforcement is now on Minnesota roads.
Snowy, icy, slippery. Perfect. The Hyundai Genesis with H-Track all-wheel drive automatically delivers driving force where it's needed most. The Hyundai Genesis, recipient of the J.D. Power Award in initial quality. It's what's next.
Lease the all-new Genesis from Hyundai for $389 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com.
See why more people are coming to Audi than ever before at Audi Minneapolis. Experience the legendary performance and handling of an A4 2.0 T Quattro. Lease yours for only $379 a month. Plus, Audi Minneapolis will make your first month's payment. Or try out the luxury and power of an A6. Lease for just $499 a month. The Summer of Audi event.
at Audi Minneapolis on 394 at General Mills Boulevard and at AudiMinneapolis.com.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
J.D. Hoyt's, locally owned, nationally known.
Nice
What
commercial.
a supper club. You like going to J.D. Hoyt's for a good steak?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Pork chops.
Pork chops, yeah. Stuff like that.
I don't go there as often as you do. Rice she does.
Lots of stuff going on there. It's kind of fun to go to. Here's my prediction. The Adrian Peterson, they'll ask him to take a pay cut, and he'll say, release me, and I'll go play somewhere else. What do you think?
There's no chance he's going to play here.
You think they're not going to make him take a pay cut?
He's going to have to take a pay cut wherever he goes.
Right. But I'm saying I think he'll take a pay cut and play for somebody else.
He won't have a choice. He's got a contract.
No,
He's
Sid,
locked up.
if you make him take a pay cut, it's his move.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent if he won't take the pay cut.
Well, they'll pay him what they have to pay him.
Okay.
Well, what is that number?
Then they just might as well leave the contract as is.
Well, they'll work something out. They want him in a worse way.
Zimmer wants him bad.
Zimmer wants him.
Spielman
Turner
wants him.
The Wolves want him, and Rex Spielman wants him. So you got everybody who wants him.
Okay.
They'll work something out.
But what matters is, does he want the Vikings?
There's
if they
the
ask
question.
him to make
Well,
a
the
cut,
players say-
how does he feel about the Vikings? Does he feel like they done him wrong or not?
And I don't even know if it's just the Vikings. I think he's got a self-consciousness about the fans. Now, how do you think he'd be perceived, Louis?
I think he'd be welcome back now by majority. You're always going to have some people who wouldn't want him to play here again, but I definitely think that the majority fans want him back in. The majority fans think that Roselle really screwed this
Not
guy.
Roselle.
I mean,
Win, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, win,
Not
baby.
Roselle.
No.
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell, but
Yeah, win. They'll love him. So don't worry about it. If Al Capone played right halfback and he could score baskets for a team and win the championship, they would like him.
So, Patrick, let's go over this again. How can he get to the appeals? He's been the misdemeanor, all that's been tried, and he's denied again this time.
Well, Goodell picked his own guy
Harold Henderson
to be the arbiter, and he might as well have written the thing.
Yeah.
Not proper.
Right.
He didn't show proper remorse. He stood on the steps of the Houston courthouse and showed remorse, but Roger Goodell
Wasn't
is smarter
proper
than
remorse.
Roger
Like
Goodell is smarter than the legal system,
Yeah.
apparently.
Like I wrote in my column, legal means nothing. Nothing means nothing. He can play and get paid, and nothing will have anything to do after April 15th. And I'll make a prediction that within the next 30 days, the April 15th will be lifted. And they'll give
Well,
him
it depends upon if he goes to New York and meets with Goodell's psychologist and all that nonsense. And
he will.
It doesn't sound like he wants to.
doesn't really matter if the April 15th
It'll
is
be
lifted,
lifted.
because I
very
don't think
little
they're
bearing.
playing any games between January 1st and April 15th. But Goodell, I think, really messed this one up. He
He's
messed
just
it up.
determined to be the hard hand
Yeah.
right
They
now.
didn't want to lose 2 in a row. They
Yeah.
lost the Ray Rice case.
Yeah,
They
but
didn't
then
wanna
you don't
lose
go
2 in a row.
overboard the other way. Then you do
well, he
lose it.
did.
Because then you start losing your credibility with a lot of fans saying, wait a minute, now all of a sudden you're giving a guy the year and you give one guy 2 games? This makes no sense.
What's the name of one of the great players on the Islanders when they won all the championships? Give me one name.
Bossy.
Huh?
Bossy.
Okay.
Trotchy.
If you're general manager and he gets in trouble and he's scoring 50 goals a year, you'd find a way to keep him. I'll guarantee you.
I didn't say I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're challenging the world here on this, Sid. Here's the next question. Next question is, what will his level be? You know, where is he at as a player?
That's the biggest question, because you're getting to 30 years old. You're getting older, and that, for many, that's the time when a running back is starting to maybe lose his ability to play as well as he did. Plus being out for a year.
Plus, he might give up football and go run in the Olympics. So
I didn't realize that.
I didn't
do
know
some real estate.
I didn't know if he was that fast.
Me either, and I didn't know.
Has he ever watched these guys run?
Yeah.
Has he ever watched Usain Bolt?
Yeah. And I didn't think the Olympics were next year anyway, are they?
No, I don't think
Maybe they are, but
It's amazing the way that, you know, somebody gets in somebody's ear. You've always believed in older players, though, and older guys performing well.
Souhan, the genius he is, he had him traded Dallas for that McRae. McRae, is that his name? There's a guy, he's got 1,600 yards this year. He's being paid $1.4 million.
That's a pretty good deal.
And Jerry Jones has got the most money, income of anybody in the National Football League. He can pay the guy, and we'll pay the guy. Peterson will settle for about $7 or $8 million, and they'll work it out.
He will not settle for $7 or $8 million.
All right.
Maybe 10.
I think he's played his last game for the Vikings. Take a break, come back, stay with us on the Sports Show.
He's
Ever wonder, why do I hear but not understand? Scientists at Cambridge University discovered the answer. Inside your cochlea, there are thousands of tiny hearing hair cells. Poor hearing occurs when regions of these hair cells die. Amplifying a dead region with hearing aids makes you hear worse, not better. The result of this study is a hearing clarity breakthrough. Using standard test equipment, dead regions of your cochlea are identified. Then, a new type of frequency-shaping hearing aid is programmed to bypass the dead regions. Only your usable hearing hair cells receive amplification. Brilliant. A local study is underway. 100 citizens with hearing problems are needed to receive this testing and then wear the tiny device for 10 days, recording your results. Call now to see if you qualify. Volunteers may keep the product at a special discount if they desire. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
Thanks for watching CW-23.
In a world full of compromise, the Audi A3 takes a different path. Get uncompromised design, the style and presence of Audi in a lighter, smaller form. Uncompromised performance, a lightning-quick turbocharged engine, and race-bred S-tronic transmission. Uncompromised luxury with standard leather seating and panoramic sunroof. Lease your A3 for only $299 a month. Plus, during the Summer of Audi event, Audi Minneapolis will make your first payment. Stay uncompromised. Audi Minneapolis.
Stop on by Audi today, see Charlie and the whole gang, get into one of those Q7s, drive it year-round, perfect for 4 seasons in Minnesota, or give that Christmas gift to that one you love a lot. Welcome back to the Sports Show. I know it says Wild up there on our menu, but before we go to the Wild, I almost forgot. This Wisconsin thing was the craziest thing. All of a sudden, Gary Anderson's gone in the middle of the night as the Wisconsin football coach.
Well, I think there were some stories behind the scenes, but I heard
Gee, you think?
that his wife wasn't crazy about Madison, and the minute Oregon called him, he jumped.
Okay.
And he's got the guy he wants. The guy was born in Wisconsin, would have been the Minnesota coach, except that Joe Maturi
and their family were too close.
And Joe Maturi thought for a long time. He didn't interview coaches for a good period of time while he was trying to make up his mind whether to hire this guy or not.
That's correct.
And then he decided he'd take too much heat. But on the other hand, Joe Maturi, when he hires Kill, he tells the president that it won't be a good press
conference win.
Yeah.
But it was.
But it was.
Yeah, okay.
But the point is, why would it be a bad press thing with Paul Christian? What's the name?
Paul Christ.
Huh?
Paul Christ.
Christ.
I think he gets Christian. Right?
Yeah. What's the difference, Paul Christ or Jerry Kill?
Yeah, you said first about the family thing. Patrick, your take on it.
Yeah, well, I got to think Barry's not too easy to get along with, and that's got to be part of it. And everybody in Madison's saying that he was really upset because they were having guys that they wouldn't let in school. They were not making enough provisions for getting players in school.
That's a
and
shock.
He was upset about that.
I mean,
they would make some, but not as many.
I would
as
think
he
with
liked.
Barry, you'd get what you want.
Well, I would too, and I just can't believe Alvarez is going to coach again. Twice, that just tells me
the seniors came to him now.
The seniors, I don't care if the president came to him. You got a lot of assistant coaches that are pretty good, and for him to come down like that, and what did he make? 118,000 last time.
118,000 last time.
Maybe he needs some money for the golf course or something because that's ridiculous.
The other thing is
that
they won't pay their assistants over there either.
He's not going to coach.
They won't pay. He's coaching the.
He's coaching the ball game. That's what we're talking
head
about.
Coach. He's letting those
he
assistants.
gets the money though.
Yeah,
he's the guy that.
The point is, he gets paid over $100 grand.
Blackmailing his own athletic department into paying him to coach in a ball game. You got to be the worst human being that ever lived.
How much money are they paying him?
$118,000 for the Rose Bowl.
Now, what do you got to say?
Last time, 2 years
Last
ago, I don't know what they're paying this time, but you know he's not going to do it for free.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when Gary Anderson's leaving in the middle of the night, he's with the college football playoff committee. He's not even in Madison.
That's a strange deal there, Louis.
Yeah.
Louis, let's move on to the Wild. You can move it down on the menu now. They won an entertaining shootout game last night.
Well, it was entertaining after they got going a
They
bit.
got two power play goals. What are you talking about?
2 power play goals. They only had one all year, but Arizona hadn't won a game at home
They're
in 8
a 500 hockey team.
They're better than 500.
There's several games.
Just a little bit.
Well, just a little bit is still better. Just a little bit might be enough to get them in the playoffs.
The thing about them is they haven't had any of those
You kill me. The Wolves are about 10 games below 500. And
You're doing a
talking
great
how good
job,
they
right?
are. And the Wild are about 10 games over 500. You tell me they're a 500 team. You're unbelievable.
You know what the Wild are missing? Overtime and shootout losses.
Boy, I guess.
That's their problem.
You noticed that
they'd have
this
an
year?
extra 5 points.
Everything gets settled by overtime almost for them.
Last year they had a lot of them. And this year they've had more. They'd be okay.
You were concerned about the goaltending coming in. How do you feel now?
Here's the thing. I know nothing about hockey. Nothing. I know nothing. I know little about all sports, but nothing about hockey.
Yeah.
Here's a hockey expert who did say that the goaltending was going to be a very important thing.
Still is.
I have a question for Sid. Only Sid.
I hope I said that.
Only Sid can answer this because of his close association with the Mayo Clinic. Why do only defensemen get the mumps?
I don't know.
Only defensemen get the mumps.
It's amazing.
Now, Sidney Crosby's got them.
Yeah.
But with the Wild, only defenseman gets the mumps.
But they all do sit on the same side.
Sit together.
I don't know what's going on.
We used to sit together. And
do they sit in the defenseman room?
What's the Mayo Clinic got to
what
do
are they
with the
doing
mumps?
there?
Huh?
What's the Mayo Clinic got to do with it?
No,
Well, the Mayo
because
Clinic
you've been
treats
down
people.
there a
You know
lot.
the Mayo
so
Clinic
much
well.
about medicine, Sid. That's why.
All right, take a break, come back. You're watching the sports show. Stay with us.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Thunder, the Wild, Zach Parise, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yes, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to ticketkingonline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
You're watching CW-23.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender. Beacon Bank, responsive, reliable, reassuring. Bob Weiss and his gang just went pheasant hunting with Ian David Wheaton. Had a wonderful time. Great partner for all your business needs. Welcome back to the sports show. Irvin Santana, what's he do for you, Patrick?
I like him. 200 innings, 5 years in a row. He's been over, made 30 starts or more. So yeah, hey, he's a horse. He'll be fine.
I know.
If Phil Hughes is as good as he was last year, then you got a 1-starter and a 2-starter.
Right.
So that's good.
Or maybe Nolasco will come back and do something.
He's got to be better.
The guy from the Dodgers might come around.
Yeah.
You happy with the signing of
Somebody
Santana?
can fix his curveball.
Their payroll now is $105 million.
Yep.
And if they can find the right relief pitcher, they will sign one more guy. You watch.
Meanwhile, the Mighty Whiteys signed Melky Cabrera now.
Yeah.
They're loading up.
Wow.
They're determined, aren't they?
Yeah, Samardzija.
So Louis, now if you're the Twins right now, do you say, hey, we might as well quit signing guys because we can sign another guy and we're still not going to get above third place this year?
No, they like their offense.
Do you give the innings to the young guys?
No, they like their offense.
If
they get, like Sid said, they're going to sign a reliever. They're definitely going to sign a reliever.
Let me ask you, you think he came here because he loves Minnesota? He came here because he got the most money from Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's why he came here.
What's your point? I never thought he came here because he loved Minnesota and wanted to hang out with you on New Year's.
The Pohlads get a lot of heat because Terry Ryan is a wonderful guy, but he don't like to dish out big money.
He spends it like it's his own.
Yeah, like Sid,
hey,
man.
By the way, though, Maxie, with the extra
spends it like it's Sid's.
With the extra wild card, now I'm not predicting that they're going to win in the 80s, but with the extra wild card, everybody's taking a shot now because they all think anything's possible.
That's true.
You win 86 games, you might get in the playoffs.
That's a great point. And maybe that's good for baseball.
Yep.
The Timberwolves lost again tonight. It's not been a good week for them again.
No.
But they got close.
What do you expect when you got your three of your best players out? I think the best thing that's happened to them is what's happened to them. No. If they get lucky...
For the 11th straight year, you mean losing is a good thing again for 11 straight years?
Get a lottery pick. If they get the kid from Duke, the center, and all these guys get healthy...
How about that point guard, Tyus Jones?
They'll be pretty good.
So you like what's going on with the Wolves?
I don't like it.
Okay.
But you got to face reality.
Worst contract.
How about the Lakers? They beat San Antonio in San Antonio. So
right, and then they beat Timberwolves.
Worst contract signed in the history of Minnesota sports, Pekovic.
Yep.
The guy's chronically hurt.
Nishioka might be right there, though.
He'll never, but they only gave him $9 million or $14 million. This guy's making $50 million.
Yeah, and he doesn't,
He can't play more than, even if he comes back, he's only going to play 2 weeks.
His body's not made to play
exactly.
the game.
He's got the chronic
and
ankle.
I'm not so sure that he it's guaranteed, Louis, as they say. It's guaranteed whether he plays or not. The check's the same.
Let me tell you.
He must have too many muscles.
Yep.
Let me tell you a little story.
Uh-oh.
It's got to go
Bud
fast.
Grant was coaching the Vikings. I'd go into his dormitory, and he'd say, okay, I'm going to do this for you again. I'm going to write down the names of 10 guys, and I'll bet you some of them will be in the training room after 3-4 days of practice. And eventually I'll get rid of those guys.
Let me tell you one other thing.
And Pekovic is in that position. He won't play with a cut finger.
Bud Grant also had another theory. It's my job to make the player happy. It's not the player's job to make me happy. I got to figure out what makes him tick. He said, I don't care if it was Jim Marshall, Alan Page, Fran Tarkington. That's why he was able to maintain all those guys.
They played hurt. Jim Marshall played hurt every game.
The point is, it was the Timberwolves' job to keep Kevin Love happy. Not Kevin Love's job to keep them happy. He outperformed his contract.
That's your opinion.
I'm just saying, I'm using the Grant theory.
You didn't get to say much tonight. You
See you next week, everybody.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Sound Point Audiology. Life is worth hearing.